I dedicate my time to be wild.
Trusting in myself, I made a lot of mistakes, caused a lot of pain, was basically a disgrace. If it wasn't for your spirit, I never would've learned. Stuck up in this foolishness, but I'm gonna be wiser now. I thank you for renewing my mind, making me wiser now. And now I dedicate my time to be trusting in myself. I made a lot of mistakes, caused a lot of pain, was basically a disgrace. If it wasn't for your spirit, I never would've learned. Stuck up in this foolishness, but I'm gonna be wiser now. I thank you for renewing my mind, making me wiser now. And now I dedicate my time to be wise. To be wise.
Hey, I'm Joe the Street Preacher, and welcome back to my channel. So, basically, I've been telling you guys, to keep the people in Kensington, Philadelphia in prayer. And, I come out here and I try to minister to the people. So I got a guy here named Gene. His name is Gene, and Gene has a story to tell. I've seen Gene on King's Frank video, so it's kind of amazing for me to run into him because I did see his video, I did see his interview. So I want to do an interview with him. So this is Gene. I'm gonna let Gene tell you his story. Gene, so where are you from? Are you from Kensington or are you from somewhere else?
I'm from Northeast Philadelphia.
Northeast Philadelphia, okay. How far is that from here?
Like about 15, 20 minutes.
15, 20 minutes. All right. And do you stay out here on the street? You do?
Yeah.
All right. How long have you been staying out here on the streets?
I say about like 5 months.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you a question. Do you get high?
Yes.
What's your drug preference?
Fentanyl. Fentanyl with trank.
Fentanyl with is that the horse tranquilizer?
Yes.
Okay, so that particular drug, from what I'm hearing, is that the drug that's causing a lot of people to slump over?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Okay, tell me about that. How does it make you feel, and are you in your right state of mind when you're going through this, or what?
No, actually, it's like kind of scary because after you do the shot with the trank, you'll just wake up, and then you just wake up. You know what I mean? And you don't have no recollection of anything that you did.
So you don't know what took place the day before.
Or you don't know. I've been blacked out, but there's been times I just sleep for like a couple hours and then just wake up and I don't remember going to sleep. I'll just open my eyes. So like it's kind of like a death feeling. Like I can see like dying being like that. Just your eyes just go out, but your eyes never come back open. They stay closed.
Okay. Yeah, because I've seen people like on the TV. I've seen them slumped over. Even when I came here, I've seen them slumped over, and I was kind of curious on what particular drug causes them to do that. Okay, so how do you feel when you take that drug? Does it make you feel good? Does it take you to a level that you never experienced before? What is it that causes a person to want to keep doing it?
It's crazy because you don't feel nothing because you just either sleep or black out, so you don't have no recollection of really how you feel. But that's the kind of state of mind I like to be in. I like to be in a kind of state of mind where I just be in my own little world, zoned out, to where like I don't have to deal with nothing.
Okay, so it's kind of like a getaway drug. Why people most take it?
Yeah.
Because it kind of take them away from their problems.
Yeah, they don't have to deal with nothing. Absolutely.
Okay, and so you say you sleep out here on the street?
Yes.
Do you have a family?
Yes.
Yeah, because earlier I heard you say something about your mom.
Yes.
Okay, so do your mom, is she aware of what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. I did multiple interviews with Frank, and Frank actually interviewed my mom as well. So
Yeah, that Frankie's talking about, that's King Frank. He has a YouTube channel. He's been doing this for a couple of years. Matter of fact, I've seen some of his videos too. And Frank, if you're watching this video, man, I really like what you're doing, and how you're out here giving back to the community. I know he gave a testimony how he was once out here, and I think his wife was out here too. You know, and I see how it changed his life, and that's good. You know, that's kind of like a positive influence. So how do your mom feels about you being out here?
You know, I mean, it's hard for her because, like, I harass her for money when I need it. I have an older brother that passed away on my birthday, but he died from multiple sclerosis. I'm the only addict out of my siblings, and, you know, when we do this, we're not just going for the ride ourselves, we're taking our family along for the ride with us.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It does not only affect you, it does affect the family, especially a mother or a father, because that kind of hurts them to see their child addicted to a situation like that. And yeah, you're right. Anything else you want to say?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, the stuff that they're cutting this stuff with these days is real bad. Like, if you, I don't want to show you now, but if you looked on, you know, my interviews with Frank, it's morals over money. Yeah, and then you can see, I showed them there, like the holes that it's putting in people. It's deadly. It's infections. It's a bacteria. They're cutting this stuff with I know people that had to get surgery for meat tenderizer being in their system, gasoline, whatever the case may be. And like, this is the stuff we're injecting in our veins. This is the stuff we're injecting in our bodies, and it's no good. And it's hard to get off of, but you know.
Have you ever sought recovery?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Have you ever sought recovery?
Yes, I had 11 months sober, 2019. Yeah, and then started relapse in 2020.
So what caused you to come back?
I was in a recovery house. I was doing good. I was on my Suboxone or whatever, and then me and my girlfriend I was with, we ended up getting our own apartment, and then I just figured I was free to do whatever I wanted, so I just started getting high again.
Okay, do you regret that?
Absolutely.
Do you regret? You know, my prior videos, I tell people, you know, about there's a song R. Kelly made, and it's called "If I Can Turn Back the Hands of Time." And obviously, if you see the video, he was arguing with his girl. One time he was playing basketball and this girl was calling him, and he looked over there and he seen that she was calling, but he ignored it, and he kept playing basketball, and she had an accident, a car accident, and she died. And that made him feel like, wow, if I would have just answered that phone call, if I would have never argued with her, maybe that wouldn't happen. So he was in a situation that made him feel like, you know, if I wish I could just turn back the hands of time, if he could just go back to that moment, he wouldn't argue with her. You know, and I say that to say this because I myself have been in prison. I shared that with you earlier, for selling drugs. And when I got in there, you know, I came to the point where I was saying, you know, I wish I would have never done what I did. You know, I wish I could have turned this whole situation around. But my situation did get turned around because I gave my life to Christ and God delivered me out of it. So that's the purpose of me coming out here in the streets, because I try to give people hope, let them know that there is another alternative. There is another option, and that option would be Christ. Do you believe in God?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Jesus says, you believe in God, believe also in me. You believe in Jesus?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I want to ask you a question before I go on. I noticed that you said you have this drug habit. Okay, so how much would you say you spend every day on your drug habit?
Oh man, at least over $100 a day, easy.
Over $100 a day?
Yeah, easy.
So, do you work?
No.
So how do you support your drug habit? How do you pay for it?
I go boosting in stores. I mean, I feel I just started that. That's like something I never did before, but I came to be good at it, and I make like every time I go out and steal, I'll make like anywhere from 150 to 200 to 300 at a shot. So you know what I mean? I'll go out like 2-3 times a day.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned earlier about the effects of the drugs that's in here in Kensington, Philadelphia, and how they're destroying the body. You said you had something on your arm. You want to show it? Hold on. So this is the effect. Look at his hand. This is, how long have you had that, brother?
These are fairly new. But
And
like,
that comes from the drugs?
Yeah. Yeah. That's just like little hole that I have. I mean, like my legs are real bad.
Let me see that.
I'll show you like a burn that I have on my leg that
Wow.
actually like burnt my skin.
Brother, have you been to the hospital? Have you been to the doctor?
I haven't been to the hospital yet since I had this stuff, but I'm planning on going real soon.
Yeah, you need to go, man.
But I think that stuff was cut with gasoline because
It was cut with gasoline?
Burnt my skin off.
Wow. Those bruises and those that stuff eating up your skin, you say that came from the fentanyl mixed with horse tranquilizer, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And what does it do to your body?
It will create infections, holes, burns. Like I showed you, with the holes in my hands and create stuff like that. It's not meant for humans to put in their veins. It's meant to go in animals. You know what I mean? When you shoot at an animal, mind you, you can shoot it anywhere. And this is the stuff we're injecting in our veins.
Yeah, and as we can see, though, that drug is very dangerous, man. So you understand that you're taking a risk by putting that inside of your body, right?
Every day.
So is it really worth it, man? After seeing the effects of this drug, is it really worth it to do that?
It's really not. It's just very hard to come off of. The trank, fentanyl in the trank is way harder than when they had brown heroin.
Okay, all right. So what would you say to the viewers if anybody was looking at this and they was thinking about coming down here to Kensington, Philadelphia? Because, you know, sometimes you have kids that look at videos for the wrong reason. You know, they don't see the messes in it. They just look at it as, this is a great opportunity. It look like I could go down there and just cop any drug I want. I can get high right out there on the streets. I could go lay in the grass and go to sleep. Nobody's going to bother me. That's the pretty side that they're looking at. The police is not going to bother us. It's like drug heaven over there. What would you say to somebody who's thinking it?
It's definitely not drug heaven. It's hell on earth. It's really hell on earth. I think my opinion is there might not be a hell's fire, there might not be a hell, but this world that we live on could possibly be the hell that we think is somewhere else.
Okay, to cut you off there is a hell, there is a hellfire. We'll talk about that later. But what are the bad things that you've seen since you've been down here in the streets? And I don't mean to name nobody names or whatever. I mean just what are the bad, because I hear that the women get raped down here. I hear a lot of stuff. So you tell me, because I don't live down here, you tell me what happens out here in the Kensington, Philadelphia. And the purpose of you doing that is to prevent other people from trying to come here. Because I hear people come out of town and get stuck here and they be here for years.
Example, last night it was raining. Everybody was under the bridge, you know what I mean, trying to stay dry. And there was a shooting right there. And then everybody started running. There was a stampede. You know, it was a crazy situation. There's shootings down here all the time. I mean, you could just be walking down the street and get hit by a stray bullet. You know what I'm saying? That don't have your name on it. Just because these days people don't shoot the aim, they just start shooting. So they don't care who they're hitting. They don't care what. They just pray to hit their target. But
is it safe for a woman to come down here and live on these streets?
I don't know, because a lot of women end up being prostitutes, tricking under the AVE, and it's definitely not safe. They found a dead body one day up on the L platform. It was in a suitcase. I believe it was a woman.
She was in a suitcase?
Yeah, she was in a suitcase. Prostitute. I know a girl. I hear stories of a girl all the time. A guy strangled them. I mean, there's weirdos out there. They got weird fetishes, and you know, I mean, they're dangerous. Some guys are dangerous.
These things happen because people are hooked on these drugs. And when they're hooked on that, it causes them to make bad decisions, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so I want to leave you. Like I said earlier, you know, I'm a Christian, and I don't come out here just to tell your stories for the viewers to say, "Ha ha, look at them." You know, that's not the purpose. As I told you before, I myself used to be a drug dealer, and I went to prison for 23 years. But when I was inside prison, you know, I met Christ and I got understanding of what I was doing and how it was wrong. So I really come back out here because I feel y'all, you know what I'm saying? I never been on drugs, but I used to sell drugs. So I feel y'all. We all made bad choices and stupid decisions. You agree with me?
Absolutely.
So as a minister, I come out here to do just that, to minister. I'm with Raw and Uncut Ministries, where we tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And we don't, you know how like they cut the heroin and they cut fentanyl with this and that's not all that good, they water it down. Well, I come out here to tell you about the Bible, about the Word of God, raw and uncut. You said a little while ago that you don't think that there's a hell, or if it's really not a hell, but I came to tell you that there really is a heaven, there really is a God, and there really is a hell. And if we live a life of sin and we die in sin, that very hell, we're going to open up our eyes in. And God doesn't want that. That's the purpose of God sending people out here to minister to us, to give us hope, to tell us that we can make a U-turn out of this maze that we got ourselves in. We can get out of this maze. We can change our life. We can walk right with God. Because I'm an ex-gang member. It's a lot of things I used to do that I ain't doing no more, and it's only because of the love of Christ, because of the power of Christ. So I just wanted to share that with you. And I think you told me earlier that you need to go to the hospital, and I asked you, do you want me to take you? Because I'd be willing to take you.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm just not ready to go right this second. But hopefully the next couple of days I'll be ready.
Okay, so you guys out there that's watching this channel, I'm asking you, if you're a Christian, to keep Gene in prayer. You've seen his hand, you've seen his foot. He hasn't quite made the decision to go to the hospital, but he really needs to go. And keep him in prayer, that he makes that decision, and keep in prayer that he surrender his life to Christ. Hey man, I just want to thank you, man, for doing this interview. Like I said, do you want to tell any people out there, because they're going to be praying for you? You got anything you want to tell them?
Just don't get caught up in this addiction. Like, if you're clean, you need to get high. Don't start getting high now. It's a bad time. It's always a bad time. And I only do these interviews because Joe told me that he wants to raise awareness, and that's the only reason I'm doing the interview. Not for no money, not for anything, but to raise awareness of what's going on and what this drug is doing to our bodies and how it's affecting us. And I like what they do, and that's why I do the interviews. And I want people to see what's going on.
Amen. Coming from somebody who's been there and doing that. Amen. All right, thank you.
Y'all better off realizing there's nothing that y'all could do with me. All I ever ask is keep it 8 more than 92 with me, 100.